That is a challenge with a character like Mickey. He's established for sure. We know and we love him, and that's the power of Mickey, and the power of Mickey's character. So for me, it was really, a lot of times an actor will come in and the character is established in some ways. Writers, directors have all kind of set the tone, have their ideas in place, and the actor can kind of come in and help inform that. For me, I really felt like it was flipped a little bit, where when I came in, I wanted to do everything I could to honor what had already been done and established for the character. So it involved a lot of research, a lot of refreshing my memory of what Mickey content there was, what Mickey had already done. And admittedly, there was a lot that even I was unaware of, and I was a huge Mickey fan. But I came in knowing of the movies and a few of the cartoon series and the theme park presence. I didn't know about the toys and the video game franchises and the emerging apps at the time. It was 2009. Technology was starting to take off with a lot of those interactive apps. So, I really looked at the beginning of my career as a bit of an educational period where I just really wanted to dive in deeper than I ever had, to make sure that I was honoring that character, because I've said it so many times before, but I heard Jimmy McDonald tell Wayne Allwine in an interview, or Wayne recounted Jimmy telling him, to remember, kid, you're only filling in for the boss. And as a voice of Mickey, I'm the fourth, we really are just filling in for Walt Disney, because we're doing our part to prolong the character, to make sure that he is delighting, entertaining fans for far into the future, far beyond me, but all of that, to keep the character that was so near and dear to Walt alive.
First, I'll take Gonzo. He sort of developed in 3 phases over the course of maybe 20 years. The first phase was that he was conceived as this loser who does really stupid performance acts and thinks they're high art. And when I was doing that in the Muppet Show, I was just beginning in show business. I was truly an imposter, and I felt very insecure. So he was very shy and very defiant, but very inhibited, and that went on for quite a while, until maybe a few years later I started feeling a little more secure. And we had a writer named Bill Prady who tended to start writing Gonzo thinking that everything was really cool, and he got very excited about things. And so that was his exuberant phase. In between there, I had built a new Gonzo with eyes that opened wide so that he can look excited. The very first Gonzo just looked sad, and that helped too. So that was phase 2. Phase 3 was later on when we did the Muppet Christmas Carol, and Jerry Jewell, our head writer, was writing the movie, and he really wanted to get Dickensian prose into the film, and he decided to have Gonzo play the part of Charles Dickens, so that language could be there. And then he also thought of adding Rizzo as a sidekick, and it made for nice comedy, and it was a real pleasure to do those lines. And it sort of took Gonzo, to a place where he had a third part of his personality, which was this soulfulness. And so that's the 3 phases.
I've got a healthy mix of both, because I'm not the original Pooh. So, and I think Disney has a great idea to make it as familiar as possible it's the original back when I was in grade school that everybody fell in love with, the whole world. And that's true with Tigger too as well. And so, I think it's just a craft. Mm-hmm. The fact that I'm not the original doesn't bother me. That's for sure. I'm the original on any number of other ones, and probably a healthy mix. So I'm okay with it, and I think the thing is you have to stay true to the spirit. A lot of people can do an impression and they sort of sound like Pooh a little bit, but it's not just sounding like it. It's being Pooh. And I'm a guy of very little brain, so it's pretty easy for me.
Lady was really fun because it was to be an exact imitation of Barbara Luddy. And when I called my agent and she had told me about this audition, I said, I'd really like to audition. And she's like, oh, okay. So she called Disney and they're like, oh, that's so sweet that Jody, our little Ariel, that she wants to, but no. But no, you're Ariel, and that's great. But yeah, you don't need to audition. It's okay. Well, I just went into the recording studio by myself with my friend who is an engineer, and I made a sound-alike. A whole recording. I recorded like half of the movie, the original movie, and with song and everything, with singing and everything. And my agent just kind of slipped it in and sent it to him. They're like, we're gonna hire this person. This one of yours has a, and she goes, and they're like, well, who's that? And my agent's like, that's Jody. And they're like, oh, okay. So she can do things besides Ariel, beside. So I think at first it was just kind of like, it was my little joke to them. I didn't think that they would hire me, just because kind of crossing over with other characters. But that was really fun, really fun. And Anita was the same thing. I basically just did a sound alike from the original. And then Barbie is a whole different thing because I did not audition for Barbie. We had Lee as our director and John Laster as our producer. And they just hired me from The Little Mermaid. And I was like, well, yeah, but what does Barbie sound like? And do you think I can do it? And they're like, oh yeah, we know she's in there. We know she's inside there. We heard Ariel, and Barbie lives inside of you somewhere. We'll figure her out. So they brought a box of Barbies the first day of rehearsal. So with this box of Barbies, all of us are playing with them, and we're just kind of making up lines and talking back and forth and doing this. And all of a sudden I start kind of locking my body into sort of this, Barbie-esque kind of thing. Well, there was a Mattel person there as well. And of course, this is a big deal because the Mattel person announces to me, Barbie has never had a voice before. This is the first time that Barbie has ever had a voice. And I said, well, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I actually did the Barbie dance workout video for you. And I was the first voice of Barbie. Well, all the Pixar people looked at me like, why didn't you tell us that you were Barbie? I said, well, I didn't know if I was supposed to. I didn't know if that was a good thing or if I was going to get in trouble. So the Mattel people did not know. And she's kind of, I haven't seen this workout video, but somebody has it. It's a VHS. It's like, kind of like claymation, kind of like that. Anyways, I gave her a voice then, and we kind of tweaked it and changed it up just a little bit for Toy Story 2 and 3. So it's just kind of a funny story, with Mattel kind of going, well, Barbie's never had a voice before. I'm like, no, she kind of has, and you're talking to her. So
Wow.
hate to break the news. So it was kind of funny.
Gaston, you're positively primeval. I love that one. My husband used to tease me because how many times we'd say Papa in that movie, and especially when you're recording it. I think there's probably 500 times I said, Papa, are you here? Papa. It's a running joke.
Pete, he's just a blowhard. Well, let me tell you what I'm going to do with you. And gosh, Pete, it was that kind of Mutt and Jeff relationship, and we fed off each other very well. And, it was great to just see, the characters advance, because at the time, Pete always just ran on and he was a bully, and Goofy just always ran on and he was goofy, and it was almost like two sight gags characters. But it was nice because of all the writers. I mean, Bob and I don't want to forget anybody, so I'll let you look them up, but it was great.
Me being the voice of Ahsoka didn't exist. I mean, and as an actress, when I was cast as Ahsoka, I very quickly realized I felt like I'd won the lottery. And, I knew, first of all, I thought Star Wars was done. Like, I thought George Lucas was done making Star Wars. And so when I found out about the Clone Wars, and then when I found out that I was going to be voicing Ahsoka, I was blown away. And I realized that this was truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get to originate a Star Wars character. And since that day, 14 years ago, when I first was cast as Ahsoka, I mean, I made a vow. Somebody told me that it would change my life forever. And it did. And I made a vow that I would always, you know, wake up every day to try to live up to the opportunity that had been given to me. And I take it very seriously. I do not take it lightly. And I view it as such a privilege. And, you know, back then I had no idea that Ahsoka would become what she is today, and that she would mean so much to people like, you know, she does today. But I see that, and, you know, there's a reason I've dedicated the past 14 years of my life to her, because, you know, this is the type of role that doesn't come around. You know, you're lucky if it comes around once in your lifetime. And I view it as a privilege. I wake up every day and I think, okay, what more can I do? Like, I often ask myself, what would Ahsoka do? Because I so badly want to represent her, even in real life.
You know, I've always had a philosophy that, you know, if you don't do a perfect impression of someone, you have a new voice. And if you do a perfect impression of someone, you can do that. You know, if you give a great John Wayne or George Clooney, you know, fill in the blank. And excuse me, I put, you know, they put this together and they said it was a bit of a scoundrel. And apparently I give good scoundrel and pirate, because I've been in a lot of pirates, and Don Carnage is another one. And, but, you know, he just suited my personality. He was a con man, and he just was so, what a great character. I auditioned for like 3 people and I got the one I really wanted. Thank you. And he was vocally, and nobody's ever busted me on this. Nobody's ever caught it, because I say it's 2 very famous people put together. Now, they're older actors. I believe, in fact, they're both dead at this time. But one was Charles Bronson and one was Yul Brynner from The King and I. You know, I could never tell exactly where he was from, you know, and Charles Bronson was this tough guy. So, you know, I put him together, and I have Hondo Naka. You know, Skywalker, let me tell you something right now between the face. I'm going to tell you this, and I want you to write it down. And it's both of them put together, but don't tell anyone, because it's a trade secret. Shh, guys, please. And you know, I have to say, you know, thanks to the guys, Dave, and of course the great one, you know, I was so blessed, because they just let me ad-lib and everything, and they kept it all in. And now he ended up having his own ride at Disney World. I think it's both, yeah. And so you should go and see it. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
I will do a little bit of the reprise. And what would I give to live where you are? What would I pay to stay here beside you? What would I do to see you smiling at me? Where would we walk? Where would we run if we could stay all day in the sun? Just you and me, and I could be part of your world. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. Watch and you'll see. Someday I'll be part of your world.
Brett, I think you have to take us out.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
I mean, that sounds ominous, but I know what you mean.
Well, thanks, everybody. We hope to see you real soon. So long.